Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, people are here already. Hi, tell me if I'm actually saying your name correctly, because I know you told me a long time ago, but then you were like, meh, just say Sal. And I was like, no, I want to say it properly. Is it Sarieldra? Sarieldra? Like, ooh, it sounds so pretty. It almost sounds elvish. Sarieldra? Sarieldra. Sarieldra. Like, just. Am I saying it properly? Or am I completely off? And I sound really stupid. Yes, I'm saying it properly, or yes, I sound stupid. Oh yay! Sarieldra. Sarieldra. It sounds really pretty. Okay, where am I and what am I doing? Okay, I think I know where I am. Let me see. Oh, hey, black man! Sarieldra. Um, oh, wow. I nearly have all the thingy-mabobbies that I need. I'm trying to think of where I might have missed, the one torrent thingadee-mabobby. And I just need 2 more, shadow tree fragment thingamies. Dingies. Sorry, okay, so just to clue everyone in who might be tuning in, I just got off work. I'm really sleepy because I took a Benadryl and a Zyrtec because I'm not fucking around. And I had a really long day at work, as you can probably imagine. And oh, there's a glittering person up there. I don't think that's a skadoosh fragment though. But anyway, with bearing all of that in mind, my intent now is to just do a wee bit of playing, like light playing, just not resin. Get fucked. So I've got that one. Just a wee bit of light playing, nothing too serious. And a wee bit of lore discussion. And the thing that I wanted to talk about the most today may be obvious, because some of you may be aware that I have this theory about Mikola that I'm working on, and that I'm working on a video for it, and that I'm gonna be releasing this, and that oh, someone just threw some literal shit at me. But anyway, that I'm gonna be doing some stuff concerning a theory that I've got. I was able to come to this theory with the help of my friend's Kite, even though she doesn't know it. She doesn't know that she helped me, but she did. Some of the things that she said in her most recent video, about the virgin abductors, it's funny because we're like, it's kind of hot potato with the ideas. Like, I'm tossing things her way, and she's like, oh! And then she takes it like a mile further than I did. And when she's doing that, she's tossing things back, you know, to me. And so I've got the hot potato, and so then I like threw it at Jack, and then Jack is a mimic. I told him, look, I'm stuck. I'm like, I'm depressed because I don't like the outcome of the DLC. Can you tell I like Mikola? Look at me. Can you tell I like Mikola? Look at me. Um, I'm like a Mikola loyalist, and so I I was feeling a bit kind of heartbroken by the outcome of the DLC, and I wanted for it not to be what it was, and I wanted to kind of put together a different story in my head that isn't just for me, because I know that, you know, I have friends who, yes, the law of causality, literally. But I've got friends who, like me, are disappointed with, if not the way that the game ended, definitely the way that the community has decided to perceive Mikola, based on the way the DLC ended. And that's kind of been very discouraging, especially when it's video after video after video of, oh, Mikola is is evil and selfish and horrible and all this stuff. And some of the people that have been saying that are good friends of mine, and it's hard to you know, when you take things so personally. Okay, let me put into perspective. Hi Infa and Revu. Hi guys. Thank you guys for showing up so consistently. That's very encouraging. But what I was saying is, so the precariousness of my particular situation lies in the fact that, as I said, some of the people who see things differently, obviously, than me are my friends, and that's allowed and perfectly fine. Where the problem lies is, I think to some extent I can't help but take it personally, because and this is a me problem, it's not my friends, because I see so much of myself in Mikola, and because as a caregiving person, as a nurse who is also very progressive, and, you know, I donate to causes, and I know this is to some extent naive, but I also donate to certain politicians, and like I'm very careful about who I do that with. So my point is that I'm a vet, you know. It's easy to attribute to people like me the idea that I am naive, because I'm compassionate and kind and stuff like that, and that I frequently kind of like offer people the benefit of the doubt, and people are frequently telling me stuff like, oh, well, you know, that's your problem, and that's why you get fucked over all the time, because you trust people in ways that you shouldn't, and you know, give people the benefit of the doubt, etc., etc. Blackman says, I feel like a lot of people's takes are pretty shallow, like the same level as, haha, his name is Dung Eater, poo poo is funny, without really understanding why or how. Hi Tyler, welcome aboard. I fully agree with you, Blackman, and And that's why when people were saying all the stuff about Mikola, I would frequently use that as an argument in a very sarcastic way. I would say, like, they literally give us a shit eater ending, but they're not going to give us a Mikola ending. Like, I was so angry. And I was saying stuff like that, literally, to kind of highlight what you just said. But anyway, um, what I'm trying to get at is that I have found that in having these, hi, Muscle Fox Sound, hello, look at all my lovelies showing up. Thank you guys. No, please escape. Thank you for showing up. It means a lot to me. But so the thing that I'm trying to get to, the idea that I'm trying to express is that stupidly, like a child does, when people were talking about Mikola, you know, I don't have nascency. So I'm not like Mikola. I'm also not a demigod or a god. But when people were saying things about him, I took it like personally. And you know, that's a me problem. But at the same time, okay, so I already had that. At the same time, a lot of the reasons why people are attributing naivete to him, hi Lulu, are because he's kind, and because, you know, he's oh, I want a kinder world, and like really only children say stuff like that, right? But I mean, I know of a whole group of people who want a kinder world, and we will kick your ass if you call us naive. Won't we, Infa? So, anyway, the point is, that... Did you see that T-posing person? That was creepy. Anyway, so the point of me saying all of this is that, it took me a really long time after the DLC released and I completed it to process my feelings and to like mature a little bit and accept that, you know, people are allowed to have their opinions and they're allowed to be very different than mine. And I know this sounds stupid and ridiculous and obvious, but when you feel like really intensely about stuff, and something seems so obviously like the right path to you, and then people are telling you how awful it is and everything, and the whole community's kind of embracing this Mikola's evil thing. I don't know. I was being a bit of a brat about it, and it's a brat summer, so that's my excuse. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop. But, okay, so having said all of that, the thing, the thing that I want more than anything, hi Ontos, the thing that I want more than anything, and in an emotional fit, I reached out to Jack as a mimic, and I started like bawling my eyes out to him, because that's, you know, I'm taking this way too seriously, and I'm telling him, I feel lost. I hate what the DLC did to my favorite characters, both Marika and Mikola, because I was fully expecting for the DLC to uncover something about Marika that would... Oh, hi Brandon. Thank you so much. That's really sweet of you to say. I was fully expecting for there to be some kind of justification for how Marika is and the deeds that she's done, which frankly are, you know, there's no excuse for genocide, so clearly there's not going to be like any good justification, but I thought there would be something more than just, oh, they did it to her first, so then she just was like, went full Daenerys, which by the way is another thing that really makes me angry about female characters in literature, and we'll get into this some other time, because the first time I ever had my heart broken truly in fantasy was probably when I was a child watching The Neverending Story and Artax died. But also, please, no, you bastards. But also, with Daenerys, because book Daenerys is very different than show Daenerys. Book Daenerys never once says, "When my dragons are grown, we will burn cities to the ground. Everyone who has snuffed me is going to get it in the fucking, right in their fucking shitter." Like, she never talks like that. Daenerys is measured, and she's constantly reflecting on the decisions that she has made, and seeking counsel before she makes decisions going forward. She is constantly looking inward to see if she can improve in some way, or how she can be a better leader and a better queen for other people. And, you know, like, does she want to be a queen? Like, what is a queen for? In fact, one of the quotes of hers that means the most to me is this quote where she says, what are kings and queens for, if not to protect, you know, the vulnerable people whom they rule? Like, what else would be the purpose of them? So, understanding that about Daenerys, and something that the show never showed you. So, you know how Daenerys goes to Slaver's Bay, and she liberates Astapor, Yunkai, and Meereen in that order. She liberates these cities, and her goal is to abolish slavery, which is noble and 100% correct. And when you are a woman who has been a victim of abuse, and there's a character who is a woman who is a victim of abuse, who comes into power, and now she's abolishing slavery and liberating other people who are victims, and they all follow her. She gives them the choice. She doesn't tell them, "Oh, you're all my subjects now, you know, suck a dick." She tells everybody, "You don't have to follow me. You are free. You can do whatever you want with your lives. You can make of yourself anything that you like. But if you do follow me, here's what you can expect." So a lot of people are like, "Hey, like, that's a much better life, much better cards than we've been dealt." So a lot of people choose to follow her, and some people don't want to follow her immediately, but then when they see that the masters are just trying to retake power in Astapor and Yunkai, they flee to Meereen to join Daenerys. So all this is happening, and Daenerys receives a warning from a character named Quaithe, who is this really interesting character who has a lacquer mask and speaks in riddles and is just super fascinating. But one of the warnings that she gives to Daenerys is, beware the pale mare, and that means the pale horse. And a mare is a female horse. So anyway, she's given this warning to beware the pale horse. Well, while she's in Meereen and loads of people are filing in from Astapor and Yunkai, a pale horse comes along, leading a host of people from Yunkai and Astapor, and they're all really, really sick, like really sick, and they have basically like dysentery. So they're nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. They're all super dehydrated. They're having terrible abdominal pain. They've got high fevers. Everybody's really unwell. And all of the nobles, or the quote masters, and Daenerys' own council are telling her, leave these people at the gates. If you let them in, or anybody leaves to address their unwellness to help them, they could catch this illness and infect everybody in Meereen. Daenerys says, my Unsullied are not afraid of anything. So she commands her Unsullied to come out with her. With her. She goes out with them. With bread and goat's milk, which if you don't know, goat's milk is really good for if you have an upset stomach. Bread, goat's milk, and medicine. And she passes out to these people herself all of this stuff with her Unsullied soldiers because nobody else will help them. And it's in this sort of scene where people start like really like, who is this woman that she would liberate us and then not just leave us at the gates, but is coming out and delivering food and medicine to us herself. And that's where you get like a Misa or a Misa scene. So anyway, having said all of that, book Daenerys, I refuse to believe is going to just suddenly turn into Hitler because of some bells. Or because somebody killed her friend and her, two of her dragons. Which, I understand. Her dragons are her babies. I have 3 cats. If somebody killed one of my cats, I would go mad, for sure. And kill that fucking person. I would not kill tons of innocent people in a city surrounding the person who is guilty of killing my cats. So, anyway, I just... For Daenerys to be not that kind of person, but also just so much better of a person than that, it's just hard for me to believe that she would ever become somebody who would burn a city to the ground like that. So, having said that about Daenerys, when the show did what they did with her, it broke my heart as a fan of Daenerys, as like a fangirl of Daenerys. She was like my favorite female fantasy character. And that was the first time it really hit me. I went through a breakup at the time, and it was like I took Daenerys's fall. I took that harder than I did my breakup at the time, which is sad, but it's true. And in fact, like that breakup, I'm happy now that it happened. It needed to happen, and I look back and I think, what the fuck was I thinking? So really, truly, ultimately, Daenerys is a bigger, more important part of my life than my fucking ex-boyfriend who I nearly married, which is really weird. But anyway, having said that, Daenerys hit me hard. So when the DLC was coming, and we had learned about Mikola, that you had people like Senator Tarnished who was saying like, oh, Mikola's he's the healer, and he's gonna come and fix everything that Marika broke. And then you have the game promoting itself, saying stuff like, oh, Mikola's following the footsteps of his mother, and tra-la-la-la-la, basically backing up what Senator Tarnished is saying. And Senator Tarnished, his content is brilliant, he's amazing. His theories kind of do serve as like a blueprint for, I think, like the skeletal structure of how they decided to write the story, which is why he is so accurate in determining, what they're doing in the story and where the story's going and what's happening next and all of that stuff, because I think they do use a psychological framework to some extent. I'm not certain they have like a psychologist on board who knows all the things that Senator Tarnish is saying, you know, this person like apparently has to know in order to write it so perfectly like that. But regardless, the point is, Senator Tarnished is brilliant and has brilliant content, and together with him and the stuff that Jack was saying, and you know, the whole community was really hyped for Mikola and stuff. Some people were saying, don't trust him, be careful, look out. But I was just so sure that, you know, Mikola is doing the same thing Daenerys was doing. He's leading these oppressed people to a place of salvation. And if you go to the Halig tree, you see that that's exactly what's happening. There's all these people in despair because Mikola is gone and he hasn't returned and the Halig tree has failed. But if that weren't the case, if the Halig tree had not failed, all of these people would have been led to salvation due to Mikola's actions. So, you know, there's just so much in the base game that points to Mikola being like a wonderful person or whatever. So when the DLC comes out and everything that is revealed is revealed, I have to tell you, I was like heartbroken at first, because the only way that I could interpret all of this was that the community's very surface level interpretation of what was going on really, like, is that really what it is? And I didn't really know what to think about it. I was just kind of distraught. But then I met other people who felt the same as me. I met Infa, who is Scum Mage Infa. Ontos reached out to me and told me his thoughts. And then he released his video, which was brilliant. And believe it or not, was like a tremendous source of consolation, not only for me, but other Mikola enthusiasts who were feeling heartbroken like I was. So, Ontos, if you're still around, like, thank you for doing that. It was tremendous, and it kind of lit a fire for all of us and helped us along, because I think we were feeling to some measure dispirited, especially because when Scum's video came out, which was also, by the way, another candle in the darkness, Scum received so many shit comments, the same sort of shit comments that Ontos was getting. And I remember at first Scum and I were trying desperately to like hit back at every single person in the comment section. Good night, Infa. But we were trying to hit back at every single person in the comment section that was saying stupid stuff. And finally I think we sort of just gave up, because obviously, like, it's pointless. But the point of this, all that I'm trying to say, sorry, I'm tired and I'm just blabbing, but the point of all of this is simply to say that, and what I'm doing right now, by the way, is I know I've missed some Shadow Tree fragments, but I can't sort out like which ones and where from, so I'm just kind of running around and looking for the which ones I might be missing, and I just found one. So anyway, the reason all of this blabbery is relevant is because I pulled Jack aside and I was like bawling my eyes out like a nerd and saying like, look, I can't accept this ending. This is either bad writing or this is my main character, Tyler. This is either bad writing or I'm misunderstanding something, or there's something deeper here. And so Jack kind of takes me through stuff I already know about A Song of Ice and Fire. And I'm like, I know he's like, Mikula's supposed to be Bran, blah blah blah, whatever, whatever, but Miyazaki changed stuff, right? So Mikula is like, seems way more like a Griffin shoehorn, uh, or Griffith, whatever, shoehorn than he does like a Bran. And Jack was like, no, and he walked me through how and why um, the Bran connection is still really solid. And then it suddenly clicked for me. And I have this theory that, coupled with another theory that I was writing inspired by Kite, I have this theory that fixes everything for me. And I know that it might not fix everything for everybody. People might not like be on board with it. People might not agree with me. And that's perfectly fine. Because something that Kite has really helped me, Kite and Rivu have really helped me to understand about the lore recently, is that so Jack and I both have this tendency to like, we need and want everybody in our circle to like agree with us. And not because we have to be right, but because we want to continue to build a shared story with people around us. And if we don't agree, then it's kind of hard to like, you know, how do you build a shared story with people that you don't agree, you know, you don't see the story the same way. So how are you supposed to be building that on that together? So anyway, for me that was kind of like a non-starter in some ways, engaging with other people's ideas and stuff. But Kite has kind of helped me realize that I'm being a bit of a twat. And that I need to chill and understand that the beautiful thing about this story is that nobody really knows what the actual truth is. So when we're formulating these ideas together, and when we're coming up with what we think could be the answers that we're searching for, we can't ever truly be 100% correct or 100% incorrect, because nobody knows. So the nice thing is that as we build theories and stuff like that, you know, you think a thing, and you can only get so far with the information that you have. And so you've built like this story, and you think, oh, this is the way it is. But as things progress, you gain more information and you can kind of change your mind about things. So what's so different, you know, there's really no difference between doing that and like hearing other people's ideas and just cherry picking what sounds really good to you and blobbing it in with the things that you want to accept and do accept. And And I mean, this is all like elementary and shit. Wait, what? um. Anyway. So yeah. So I've kind of gotten over myself. And kind of understand that you know, theories are theories, and we don't know for sure. And this has actually made it easier for me to formulate my own theories, because now I'm less afraid of like a misstep or something. And I can, you know, I don't want to be too like what's the word? Liberal. I hate to say that word in this way, but I don't want to be too lax, I think is probably a better way of wording it, with the way that I'm viewing this, because I don't want to end up in a situation where it just doesn't make sense and it's hard for other people to accept it, and it's just kind of like meh. But I think I'm gonna test run my theory with you guys, and we'll see what you lot think about it, and tell me if it's proper shit or if it's something you feel like you agree with or could agree with. If it sounds good, or if it sounds like proper shit. I'm going to still make the lore video regardless of how it